Hi, y'all. I'm Allison. I'm so excited because today we are going to reach 91% of the way through The Devil in the Dark Water by Stuart Turton. This is our fifth stop for the Start and Stop Betty Reads, and I am ready to get some answers because, there's been so much going on. Now, this is the part where I have to tell you to shield your eyes if you haven't been reading along with this, and if you haven't made it to our magical paragraph. So the paragraph you should have reached by now is this was Old Tom's Island, and it had brought them here for ... In my edition of the book, you would have found this on page, which is the same for the Kindle. The other paperback, it would have been page 498. Hardcover, you should be at about 412. And our audiobook, I'm assuming y'all are at 15 hours and 28 minutes. Or thereabout. So we are going to proceed from that point today. And we're going to read like 50 pages because everybody voted and we are adding one extra stop. So I have a feeling some of our questions will get answered today. And we might get a couple of new ones. And when we set it down, everybody's going to be like, no, I want to know what's going on, because that's where I'm at. Now, I'm not going to speculate anymore. I am going to read and let you see my reactions, and we'll talk about it afterwards, but I'm not going to guess, because just like Michael pointed out, you speculate a lot towards the end. Sometimes you end up with a better solution than the authors. I don't think that'll be the case here. I don't think there's any way this can end with us being disappointed in it, because he's going to pull out all the stops. But at this point, I think we should just enjoy the ride for the last 100 or so pages, and that's what I'm going to do today. So I can't wait to find out. Our suspect list is shrinking because they're dying off, and we still don't know, is it supernatural or is it not? Maybe today we'll at least answer that question. All right, I'm going to move to the living room so we can get started. It's just a short little jaunt today. Okay, I'm excited. All right, I have assumed the position and I am ready. I was going to say, as long as I have my book, to dive back in. I am so ready to get some answers because there's so many possibilities for this. And our lighting should be much better today because I was like, I bet if I open the blinds, it might be a little brighter in here. Who would have thought? Okay, I'm diving in. Okay, wait, so many people died. Who died? Did we have to quit right after the evil Governor General was killed? We did. Okay, so I remember now who he had gone to somebody's cabin. We don't know who. Was there for 2 hours, left crying, and was found dead. Good riddance. He was something. And, I think I really appreciate the fact that instead of the scenario that I expected, where he'd have his chance to have his evil monologue and everything, I like how he was killed off page instead, and we were stunned by it when we walked into the room with, who was it, Sarah? So, bravo. In fact, I think I barely reacted to it at all. I think I was just so surprised that it was just like, huh? Plus, I was quite fatigued the other day. So, all right, I'm going to... Leah thinks she knows who he went to see. Viscountess is Haviland. I wonder if that's why I picked up on her name yesterday. I wonder if my brain recognized that it was an anagram. Anagram? Acrostic? Whatever. It was scrambled. I wonder if I picked up on that and didn't realize it. Oh, I knew there was something about her name. I'm going to call that a point for me. I said I wasn't going to do any more theories, but I think I just unlocked it all. Okay, yeah, I'm not doing any more theories. Okay. So she just looked at the book with all of the pictures and the drawings, that has shown everything that has happened up to that point and what's going to happen next. And they found that Old Tom's symbol isn't really a symbol, it's an island. In fact, it's the island from our magical paragraph the next time. So they're being drawn to that island. I will say this. I think this definitely rules out supernatural. I think that's definitely ruled out. People are behind this, and I highly suspect that it's more than one. I don't think it's just one person doing everything. And I think it was Michael. Michael called it that the Countess isn't there and that the cabin is empty. So I did not see that I didn't see that angle coming. So bravo for you. And someone else called, I want to say Tabara, she called something too. She was suspicious of Isabel, which may in fact have some merit to it since, the copy of the book is found up in Emily's room. And Isabel's supposed to be the only one with that book. Okay, back to Okay, wait, I missed it. Who's sick? My mind's spinning with theories and possibilities, and I can't focus on what's on the page. Oh, okay, so if Timon, I'm assuming that's how you say his name, is attending to Pip's exercises, that must mean that even though the Governor General is dead, Sammy is still stuck in that little cell. Because if the Musketeer is coming down to let him out at midnight to walk around the deck. So I was hoping that his situation had improved. Okay, so logical explanation for Isabel being below deck when she wasn't supposed to be, I guess, eavesdropping, wasn't it, on their conversation? She was meeting Wick, who was actually going to be his future. Even though it's somebody else's baby, we don't know who, and I assume the guy's out of the picture anyway. Wick was going to leave the sailor life, being the boatswain, and have a future with Isabel and the baby. He had a soft side to him. He knew. And it does make sense, him having to be ruthless to keep the crew in line. So I don't necessarily fault him for that, but as Carl said, he was a bad person. But hopefully, I guess there must have been more to him if Isabel saw something in him. And I've been wondering who he saw, because he balked at it and stopped mid-sentence. So there's some unknown noble on board. Okay, so that takes Isabel and Wick out of the equation, right? I think they're now eliminated. Well, Wick definitely is because he's dead. But is Isabel out of the loop? I do have to say, I like how Turrent gave Arendt the ability to still mourn his uncle, the Governor General. Even though he despised the man he turned into, he still can mourn the man from his childhood who genuinely cared for him. And I like that Sarah recognizes that he needs that moment to mourn the man that she never knew from Arendt's past. So I thought that was a very humane touch. Okay, so Wick was trying to blackmail so he could run off with Isabel. And she said the leper to kill him. Drown the witch. How novel. Yep. Oh, okay, yeah, the chief merchant's back in charge now. We haven't heard anything from him in a while, and I was really expecting him to go on a power trip. at the beginning. I wonder if he's going to do it now. Oh, no more speculating. Although that doesn't have anything to do with Old Tom and all of that, the mystery itself. Oh, it looks like Pip's got to clean himself up and dress like a human again. Okay, so he is released. It just took a little bit to set him free. Yep, okay, there's Ben shooting. That's what I expected of him, barking at, wondering who allowed women in the meetings. One knows for what I would expect him to say. I do want to know how those 3 acts are linked. Why the enemies steal the folly, slaughter some animals, and then murder the governor general. So splinters on the knife. I would assume that was the knife that was used to carve the symbol into something, and some of the wood stayed on it. Oh, our aunt's already noticed that Sarah's free. I wonder if they might have a future together after all. I love that Van Shooten almost fell over when he realized that Leah had designed the folly. Okay, so I don't know the nobility ranks and everything, but I thought a duke is higher than a count. Because that's the second time Creasy has... Somebody's saying that she's going to marry a duke, and it's the second time she said, I thought he was a count. And I would assume, from what I know of her, that she would like the higher title, unless she was wanting to become a viscountess. Just saying. Yep. So we do know now Sarah's plan, that she was having Leah copy the designs so Sarah could then sell them to the Duke whenever she got to France, and that would give her the money, the fortune that she needs to run off with Leah on her own. So we know which pie she had her fingers in. Yeah, I was wondering about that. I had just assumed that Voss, all of his stolen goods, I assumed that he had stolen those back in, what time did they set sail from? Wherever they left, Batavia. And he was just bringing it with him. But it looks like he was dipping into the Governor General's personal hoard. Wait, what? Did y'all get... Okay, so Dretch made Van Shooten take him down to the cargo hold to find out what all was down there, because it wasn't one. I thought it was just one crate, but apparently he had filled like half of the cargo hold with his own personal crates. The Governor General did, and all of that went on board before they set sail. So I got that part. So and now Dretch wants to know what's in there, because he assumes that's why everybody on his ship is dying, his crew. Pointing to a large crate. Yeah, hundreds of crates. Okay. Take up half the cargo hold. And then Shooten's sounding sick about it. So this is the secret you murdered those sailors to protect. I missed something. Who did Dretch murder? I think I missed something somewhere. So Dretch said he was following orders. That's what soldiers do. Okay, you're the one who sent them to the warehouse where I was waiting. So Van Shooten sent them to the warehouse. Dretch was already there. Van Shooten's the one they trusted. And took the general's money. It wasn't only those sailors who knew about this cargo. And it wasn't only them I was supposed to kill. Oh, wait. A momentary blank. Dretch was the Governor General's personal bodyguard, right? Yes. Okay, so all along, the Governor General didn't want any witness of what cargo he was carrying. I bet that's what it is. And Dretch was supposed to kill anybody who witnessed it. All the loose ends, which Van Schuten would be a very large one of them. Holy crap. Mutiny. Uh-oh. And I'm glad to see the constable, even if he is short-tempered and surly, at least he's okay. Uh-oh. The orders came from Dretch. There's a mutiny about to happen, and Eggert wanted to keep Isabel or Dorothea safe. Yeah, Dorothea. She's sweet, putting others' needs above her own. Holy crap. I was about to say I didn't expect Rowles to rally his crew to accept Uncle Tom's banner. That really took me off guard. And just as I was about to comment on that to y'all, saying I didn't expect him to do that. I guess, fear is a very great motivator. And I guess he was beginning to panic, but then he was stabbed from the behind by Dretch. I did not see that coming. I knew Dretch was about to unleash his soldiers, but that still just, oh man, the crew is going to go wild, and Dretch has got it's the third mirror. This is how the entire ship is brought down. It's just madness and panic. Wow. Was anybody else just shocked by that like I was? I love Turton. He can definitely cause your jaw to hit the floor. And considering how much we have pulled this story apart and speculated and guessed and everything, that's something none of us saw coming. So I am really impressed. Wow. So the musketeers have guns and the crew has daggers. And meanwhile, Dorothea and I would hope Sarah, Leah, and all of them are just hiding in cabins while this is happening. Wow. How terrifying would that be? If you take a second and think about it, because, if that's not bad enough, they're out in the middle of the ocean. There's not even anywhere you can go for help. There's no chance for help or escape. Well, I guess you could go over the side into a lifeboat, but again, middle of the ocean. In the 1600s, they aren't going to send a helicopter out looking for you. Man, Arendt just saved Larme. I was just about to say, I wonder if anybody's even going to survive. We may not have any suspects left at all. Watch there be just one person left standing. Yeah, so Dredge is doing this to get his hand on the treasure. Yeah, to top it off, while all the men are fighting, there's nobody steering the ship. Okay, so at least Larm is more concerned about the ship than anything else, because it just confirmed his Edison had the mark of old Tom. Oh God, the women may be in danger. I thought, Larm was about to try and get the sailors under control so they could, return to Batavia, and all they had to do was kill Dredge, and then the deck explodes. A spear of rock shooting upward and toppling the main mast. So toppling the main mast, I don't know that they can go anywhere. Pulverizing everybody. Diamonds flew into the air, gold chains and chalice is raining down them. You can just picture that. Oh my God. dark water surged upward like a great hand, dragging Arendt, Sammy, and Larm into the cold sea. So they went overboard. Look how much we still have to go. This isn't even the final scene. I want to know if y'all are reacting the same way I am. Are you just sitting there going, oh my God? And how am I going to stop when I get to the stopping point? Oh, so they had ran aground. Okay. I thought it was the constable did something when just trying to break it up. But, you know, he wouldn't destroy the ship in the process. You know, he wouldn't have reached that level of desperation at that point in the battle. So they ran aground. A lot of them were hacked apart by the rocks and the coral. Yeah, I guess that definitely would bring an end to the fighting between the sailors and the musketeers. Now everybody's just more concerned about finding their own and if they're wounded and searching the water and the shore. I take it back. Nope, they're not. Yeah, because 3 musketeers held down a struggling sailor while a 4th jabbed a dagger into his belly. So still they fight on. And then prowling the beach, stabbing any bodies of sailors that are on the shore, whether they're breathing or not. So they've been 3 weeks at sea. Oh my God, Sammy lost his right eye. Shredded by the coral. I can't even imagine. Oh my God, these musketeers. It's a bloodbath. And then they're laughing. I would assume these are the same. Were these soldiers with him in Banda? Have they already been messed up in the head from the trauma of that? Because Dredge was. They lost all human life. Human life has lost all value by then. They've become so desensitized, maybe. Ugh. Okay, so the boys are okay. That's good. So they're killing the wounded because they don't have enough supplies. They're taking a lot of glee in what they're doing. Wouldn't you know it? My camera filled up. So I don't know where it cut off. So turn it, because yeah, they washed ashore after the ship went aground, obviously. And Arendt, everybody has survived. Although poor Pips, he's lost his eye. He was cut up on the coral, I believe it was. And then Dredge's shoulders are going around stabbing all of the sailors that are laying on the shore. And he claims it was because they were wounded and they don't have enough supplies for the living, let alone for the injured. There's no way that they're going to be able to care for them. I don't know. It seemed like those soldiers were really relishing their job. But I had looked up at the camera because I think Sarah had just pulled Arendt in for a kiss, and I was stunned. So I saw it, and then I looked up to respond to y'all, and I noticed that the camera wasn't recording anymore. So I'm going to go back and make sure I read that right. Because sometimes I get ahead of myself and I skim. But I'm pretty sure that she was pulling him towards her for a kiss. Yeah, he's going to organize a rescue boat. Okay, yeah, they're going to have a council for the survivors. So it's going to take a while if they can manage to find a rescue boat. Yep. She took him off guard and pulled him down for a kiss. That was awesome. I love Aaron's response to the kiss. That Sammy had told him that love was the easiest thing to spot because it didn't look like anything else. It couldn't hide itself. It couldn't disguise itself. It couldn't go unnoticed for very long. Arndt had never really understood what that meant until now. Oh, that God, that was beautiful. Aw. So it's nice to have a happy moment amongst all of this tragedy. So those of y'all who called it romance between Sarah and Arndt, I'm sure there were a lot of you that did a happy little dance whenever you saw that, because I know you've been rooting for those two all along. I agree with Arm. Dredge is just going to kill everybody who's not going to be useful to him. He's not going to stop at the injured. All that's going to be left is him and his soldiers. Wow, so now they got to get the soldiers under control. Really sad. My daughter's friends just came and picked her up. They're going to Fright Fest up at Six Flags. There's like, it's so awesome. If you ever get to Texas, the Arlington area during October, you have to go to Fright Fest. They've got the park all decorated for Halloween, and there are 5 huge haunted houses. They're incredible. And they have scream zones, so they have like dry ice, so there's all this fog, and they have employees that are dressed up as monsters, all in costumes and everything, and they run up at you and scream and try and scare you as much as possible while you're walking through these parts of the park. Okay, back to the book, because I'm gonna run out of pages. So now they've got to figure out how they're going to survive on the island until rescue can come, if rescue can come. And we've got 2 factions that pretty much hate each other now. Just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, with enough supplies for days, not weeks. Oh, and to top it off, it's raining. Although they just, yeah, it's probably the least of their concerns. They're offering up the women to keep the soldiers in line. Wow. Just sick. The worst thing is that's sure reality. So only the married women are safe, and the rest will just be handed over as amusement to appease the soldiers. I really hope Arndt has some kind of a plan. So yeah, she just confirmed it, that Sarah was able to let Leah be as clever as she wanted to be without having to reprimand her. So they were just hiding her intelligence. Say what you want about our time, the modern day. It definitely has its faults, but nowhere near what it used to be. So yeah, so now Sarah's father is going to step in and make arrangements for Leah's marriage and her life, even though Sarah's husband, Leah's father, is gone. Okay, yeah, they're going to flee in the night. Good. I'm catching a ride on the ghost ship. I forgot about the 8th lantern. Wow, so not everybody's going to want to flee. Some think they're never going to have better in life. Finley's annoying one of the other cats. Good boy, come on. Lily doesn't mind him, but Ellie and Joey, they don't like him. Wow, so there's 3 long huts, so this isn't just some abandoned island. Somebody had lived there at some point. A few somebodies. And they're locked from the inside. For 30 bunks, or there's 30 bunks. Is he gonna find food? salted beef and tack. He found food. So maybe he can save the women. Barley. I think it's his father. He was a minister. There's even clean water. Yeah. So he just realized that the cheaply made weapons, the dagger wasn't really killed him. It was just a decoration, a ploy. Because, you know, it's like the symbols. It's all driven by fear and superstition. Oh, Henry the carpenter from the beginning didn't make it. I just reached the... Actually, it's a perfect stopping point. Because we got some answers, kind of. And it's one hell of a cliffhanger, our last cliffhanger, because next time we get to find out everything. Okay, I still, yeah. Again, I'm not going to speculate. So I am going to mull this over for a little bit, though, and I will be back in just a few minutes. Loving this book. Okay, I am obviously back, and I'm going to digress for a second from our topic. Kind of. This will tie in, so bear with me, because I am on this like natural high. I went to the store to get my drumsticks. I had to give, but I also need a Diet Coke. And the radio, when I get in there, the DJ is interviewing the Rolling Stones because they came out with a new album. And apparently, you know, the Stones were like, if we're going to come out with a new album, we've got to really hit a home run. Can't just have 3 good tracks, and all of them need to be stellar. And the DJ is saying they are. So I caught the tail end of one and loved it. And then the DJ starts going into a story. He's interviewing, I don't know which band member it was. Didn't recognize his voice. And he said that they were at the studio filming it. They were still working on the arrangement for The Sweet Sound of Heaven. And they're just kind of playing around in there. And producers, look, we need to get Stevie Wonder to do an arrangement for us. So he comes back with a piano arrangement from Stevie Wonder. The song opens with this arrangement, and it's got Stevie Wonder all over it. There's no doubt it's his. And then, so they're, like I said, in the studio, just kind of still coming up with the arrangement and everything. And apparently Lady Gaga was there at the same time, and she decided to drop in. Now, a little background. I have never been a fan for Lady Gaga. Don't come at me, but I just, you know, I guess a little too deep set in my old school roots. But I think I may have changed my opinion. Because apparently she came into the studio, and like I said, they were messing around with the arrangement, and she started just oohing and ahhing and singing along to the song, kind of harmonizing and joining in. And she is on the track too. It is incredible. I've got goosebumps telling you. The song was incredible. It's got the bluesy bass line, Stevie Wonder with the piano, the harmonies with Lady Gaga. She does. It's got the Sweet Sound of Heaven, and it was just incredible. I sat in my driveway with my ice cream melting in the back because I had to hear the whole song, and I'm just on this natural high from it. And then I got to thinking, what are the odds that I would go to the grocery store, come out at the exact same time that they're doing an interview with my favorite band, and I would hear this song? And it all just happened perfectly because I live like 2 miles from the grocery store. It's not a long drive. So for me to hear that exact moment on the radio, I was like, what are the odds that I would catch Sweet Sound of Heaven? And then I realized, while I'm reading The Devil in the Dark Water, oh, it's just, it was meant to be. So anyway, whether you are a Stones fan or not, check out this song because it's incredible. And the DJ was saying that this is like the rock song to top all. It has that 80s ballad. Awesome. Anthem, more like. But okay, so I need to go back to the book. Like I said, I'm just gushing. I loved it. Yeah, can you see my inner Stones fan girl? That was my first concert I ever went to, by the way. Steel Wheels Tour, 1989, at Texas Stadium where the Dallas Cowboys play. There was like 70,000 people in the crowd, and they went ahead and the last second decided to play there for a second night. Sold another 80,000 tickets. It was insane, and we were on the floor. Yeah. Okay, back to our book. I'm just as stunned by this. So much happened, and Kim, I don't think you could have picked a better spot to stop, because talk about another cliffhanger. There is no way, with all the speculating that we've been doing and all the guessing, because as you get close, you become afraid that you're actually going to ruin it. You're going to anticipate what's going to happen, and then it's going to be like, oh, yeah, I was right. Boring. But I don't think anybody would have predicted that they would end up shipwrecked on this island with the mutiny going on and the soldiers against the crew. And then the women being offered up like brothel style, to put it mildly. And then him find that village. It's just... And then, of course, Arendt has that aha moment where he's like, he knows what happened, the truth about the Governor General. And it fits exactly with what I'm thinking. But I am going to keep that. I'm not going to give you my new theory. What I'll do is I'm going to save that for the beginning of the next video, because that's when we will be finishing this, doing our last bit. There's no need for a magical paragraph. We get to go and just finish the book. So before I start reading, then I will tell you my theory on what I think it is. Or maybe I'll write it down and just, reveal the envelope at the end. Let me know which way you would prefer to see me do it. Just lay it out at the beginning, or write it down and have a secret reveal. See if I was right. I'm not going to pretend that I figured out all of it, but I think I know at least the Governor General part of it and a big portion of it. But yeah, I'm loving it. So are y'all with me? Were you stunned by this, or has it just gotten too convoluted, and are you just like, huh? Although I do think things are starting to wrap up. It's starting to clear up, because even though there is so much going on and it's so interwoven that you kind of get lost in the middle of it or towards the end. If it's anything like Evelyn Hardcastle, by the time you get to the end of it, you're going to be like, of course. I am so in awe of Stuart Turton. I think he does an incredible job. And I am definitely going to be reading whatever he puts out, because this is the second home run that I've read from him. So, all right, I'm going to leave it there. I'm still on this high from my book and the song. So I got The Devil in Heaven. Oh, crazy. All right, so I will see y'all day after tomorrow when we get to finish our book. Yeah, and that's it. So I will see y'all the day after tomorrow. Bye. I hope you're loving it.